the first MP to say they would run to replace Boris Johnson as Prime Minister in a Tory leadership contest has emerged. Tom Tugendhat, a former soldier and chairman of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, said it would be a huge privilege to stand. It comes as the Prime Minister is facing uncertainty over his leadership as concern mounts over the outcome of an inquiry into the so-called Partygate scandal and the Metropolitan Police investigation into the lockdown gatherings. MP for Tunbridge and Malling said he had not been canvassing support, but of course, you should have a go. He said, "It would be a huge privilege. It's one of those questions that I know many people ask and some of my colleagues are coy about, and I don't understand why. I don't think you should be embarrassed to want to serve your country. I was very proud to serve my country in the armed forces, and I got to the highest rank I could so that I could have the best effect that I could. And I was very proud to serve as a diplomat around the world." Mr. Tugendhat has previously criticized the government's handling of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. On Friday, the Daily Mail reported that centre-leaning Tories would back Mr. Tugendhat in a Tory leadership race. Reacting to the news, Mujibur Rahman, managing director of Eurasia Group and a former Treasury economist, commented that Tugendhat was a good dark horse candidate. He added, "Highly rated, but would be quite something to win from outside cabinet. Also as a Remainer, but good for him to have the guts to come out from the crowd." The Prime Minister's leadership has been under fire after he admitted to Parliament that he had attended a gathering in the Downing Street garden in May 2020. He apologised and claimed that he had thought it had been a work meeting at the time. Government guidance at the time stated people could meet where the gathering is essential for work purposes, but workers should try to minimize all meetings and other gatherings in the workplace. Downing Street was also forced to publicly apologize to the Queen after it emerged that a leaving drinks had been held in number 10 the night before Prince Philip's funeral last year, where the Queen was made to mourn alone due to COVID restrictions. On Tuesday, Downing Street was made to confirm that staff had also gathered for Mr. Johnson's birthday in June 2020. According to ITV News, there are claims up to 30 people attended, sang happy birthday and were served cake. A Downing Street spokesperson said that staff had gathered briefly to wish the Prime Minister a happy birthday and were there for less than 10 minutes. Ministers contested the number of people who had attended, suggesting it was closer to 10. Many backbench Tories are said to be awaiting the publication of a report by civil servant Sue Gray into the alleged lockdown breaches before submitting letters of no confidence to the 1922 committee. However, there are reports that some Tory MPs may have been quelled their initial anger towards Mr. Johnson in the face of the prospect of fighting a general election with an untested leader. The report by Sue Gray is due imminently, but will be redacted to comply with a request from the Metropolitan Police to make minimal reference to events pertinent to the police investigation. Earlier this week, Dame Cressida Dick, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, told London City Hall that the Met had launched its own investigation into the claims. She said that the investigation would seek to understand if any of the alleged parties held in number 10 Downing Street during the pandemic constituted any potential breaches of COVID-19 regulations. Mr. Johnson told the House of Commons he welcomed the investigation as it would give the public the clarity it needs. Dame Cressida said the Met Police had launched their investigation after the inquiry, led by Ms. Gray, had passed information to the force, as well as their own officers' assessment of the situation. Sue Gray will not wait until the police have concluded their investigation before publishing her report.